How does a family of 6 downsize from 2,400 square feet to 380 square feet?
This was a big obstacle. A family of 6 and a dog going from big house to tiny RV. Going from a 5-bedroom house with 3 bathrooms, going from 2,400 square feet down to 350 square feet. This was a challenge.
It really requires a mind shift. You have to think about your possessions differently. I was watching a video in the past few months, Family Fulfillment Project, actually. Thank you, Becca. You talked about how everything in the RV needed to serve dual purposes, and that was a really good mind shift for me. Which of our belongings do we really need and can serve more than one purpose? Because we're losing so much space for our things, and so it was really a process over the past 8 or 9 months to downsize from our very comfortable, sizable home to this tiny home on wheels.
So going back to last summer, we started with the garage sale. We didn't know we were going to be RVing at that time, but we had already decided to downsize. So how many garage sales did we have last year?
We had 3 in the fall.
Okay.
And then we had 2 this spring.
So it's 5 garage sales total. How did the garage sales go?
I think they went fairly well. I think the ones actually this spring went better. And it was really, really funny. Because the first one that we had was Easter weekend.
Yeah.
And we did not intend to do a garage sale Easter weekend. But it's March in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So cold,
rainy, snowy.
You grab good weather when you can, and it ended up being Easter weekend.
Yeah.
So we did it. We got everything out there in the garage. We got it all set up. With the signs were out, and wouldn't you know, the weather, which had been predicted earlier in the week to be sunny and reasonable for March, ended up being
terrible.
Cold,
rainy,
and even some snow. And wouldn't you know, it was the best turnout for a garage sale I have ever had.
Best garage sale ever. Everybody was eager to get out of the house and look at our junk and come to our garage sale.
Yes.
So it was very successful this spring.
Cabin fever worked in our favor. It was great.
Yeah. In addition to that, you sold a bunch of stuff through, what, Facebook Marketplace?
Yeah, Facebook Marketplace ended up being a big blessing for us. It really was nice to be able to list single items on the Facebook Marketplace, and I really feel like I got probably more money that way selling our stuff than if I had just done all of it at a garage sale.
So that's the first way we downsized. We sold stuff through garage sale or Facebook Marketplace. The second way that we got rid of stuff was deciding to put stuff in storage. Some stuff would have to be put in storage. And so we rented a storage unit, and we had to make a list of what goes into storage. And what was kind of cool is we gave the kids each, I don't know, a big box. Actually, the kids got several big boxes. They got one box for storage. Stuff you want to keep in storage but not take with you on the RV, put in this box. They got another box for the RV. Stuff that you want to take with you, put in this box. And then they got a third box or a suitcase for the clothing, your clothing that you want to take with you. So the kids, for a couple months, they were going through this process of deciding what to put in storage, what to keep, what to take with, and that was a good process to involve the kids with, and that's where a bunch of other of our stuff went into storage.
Right. So Joe did a really good job of thinking through and making a list of the big items in our house and what we should keep and take with us on the RV, what we should put in storage, what we should give away to my sister and brother-in-law, because they were buying a home and they needed furniture for their place,
Yep.
and then what we should just toss or donate.
Right. So that's the third way we downsized was giving stuff away. People have been so generous to us over the years. We wanted to be a blessing and be generous to others, and just give some stuff away to families in need, and then also stuff to just toss and get rid of. And that required us going to the dump several times.
Yeah.
Those were always kind of bittersweet trips, right? I mean, it's a pain to put stuff in the trailer or in the back of the Yukon and then drive to the dump, but it's also exciting to get rid of stuff, and when you can just toss it in the dumpster. So how many trips did we take?
Oh,
Maybe a dozen.
probably. Joe had also taken time to make different areas in our basement where we had a bunch of storage.
Yeah, so four different areas with signage in the basement, and that was a good experiment to have the kids help us.
Yes.
And then we had to make choices.
Right.
We had to make decisions. Now, some of those decisions were obvious and we were in agreement. Other times there was a little bit of debate, and Trish and I even had a few fights, arguments.
No.
What were some of the things that we disagreed about, things that we should keep or give away?
Probably more sentimental things like trophies.
Yeah, my golf trophies from like 7th grade and 8th grade. I was the junior champion at Woodstock Country Club, and Trisha wanted to give away those, or no, not give away. You wanted to toss. Anyway, she won that one, so we snapped a picture of the trophies and then tossed them. I was sad.
But things like that you can document, even kids' pictures and such. I have learned to snap a picture of them and then toss things. So we have records of them. His Jimmy Buffett piano book.
Music books. We had a big fight over music books. Why do you need a Jimmy Buffett chord chart music
Since you
book?
haven't played it in ever.
I will someday. So I went through our garage sale and I took little things and I had to hide them. I hid them from Trisha.
Oh, your flask.
A hunter needs a flask. For apple
The
cider.
flask that hadn't been used in years.
The flask was not used because my ribs were broken and I couldn't go hunting last fall. I will use it again. I was offended that Trisha took it upon herself to determine what I would and would not use.
Because the wives understand that the men, in general, like to hold on to things for a long time.
Oh, that is so sexist. This is a sexist comment.
Maybe so.
Now,
You know what I'm saying, and you know I'm right.
Now, clothing was another issue, having to downsize clothing.
Yeah.
I had a lot of clothing that I never wore, but in my mind, I would think, I'll wear that someday. I'll wear that someday. So maybe in your life, there are some downsizing moments coming, and you have to decide, what do we get rid of? What do we keep? What do we give away? What do we sell? I'm wondering if there are some disagreements in your household, maybe between you and your spouse, maybe between you and your children. Maybe there's an internal struggle just in your own heart and mind. Do I keep this? Do I get rid of this? We'd love to hear your journey as far as thinking about downsizing. Maybe you have some funny stories you could share with us about some battles you've had like we've had when it comes to downsizing.
Mm-hmm. Other things that we had to do in order to get ready for the big move were canceling utilities, switching everything over to e-bills as much as possible so that we're not acquiring a bunch of snail mail and getting it super late. We had to get a new address, so we got a new address at the local UPS store where we can have a street address and not just a P.O. box. And then one of the final pieces, and probably one of the most important pieces, was beginning to tell our family and our friends of our plans.
That was nerve-wracking.
A little bit, because we had no idea how, especially our parents and our siblings, would respond to our crazy plans.
Crazy Joe, crazy Trisha.
Of downsizing to an RV full-time.
Yeah, so we had been thinking about downsizing for well over a year, right? The specific plan of downsizing to an RV was rather new,
Right.
but our family didn't really know about this. We had not told them. We had just been in the dreaming phase, as I like to call it, before we started actually making plans. But now we're selling our house. People are going to know, our friends and family. We need to tell them.
Now, our families are somewhat used to hearing our crazy antics and hearing us verbally process our dreaming phases.
Right.
But for us to actually pull the trigger and do this, I think was a little bit different. You know, and everyone has their different response, their different take on this. But it seems like when we tell people, they kind of fall into a couple different categories.
Yep.
They're either genuinely excited for us and maybe even a little jealous.
I like those people. Those people are fun.
And honestly, there have been more like that than I would have ever expected. But so many different people that love the outdoors, that would love to be able to travel in their RV full time and just enjoy creation. So there's been a lot of people that have been genuinely excited and happy for us, and will tell us, "Good for you. That's so great. Your kids are so blessed." And then
like my mom said, "Whoa, this is so great," because my mom's a history buff. In college, she studied history at Alverno in Milwaukee. And so my mom's a history buff, and so she was so excited that our kids were going to get to experience history by traveling around the country. So she was really excited about that. Okay, so then there's people who are...
They don't understand. It's crazy, it's weird, why would you do that? You've got this beautiful home, and they don't get it.
They don't get it. And I think for them, there's a lot of people in that camp, they just don't know how to respond.
Yeah.
And so we try not to take that personally, because again, if we were in their shoes, I don't know if we would know how to respond. Should we say congratulations? Should we say, what are you doing? Should we be happy for you? Should we be concerned for you? I think a lot of people just don't know. And then there's another category of people who actively are trying to talk us out of this direction.
And you are crazy and you should not do this.
That's right. They have made a decision that we are crazy and you should not do this. And those are people that are closer to us and love us very much. And we are taking seriously the concerns that they have and addressing their the things they bring up to us. And actually their counsel, we have rethought and made changes based on that counsel. So those are some of the different reactions we got when we told friends and family about this crazy plan.
Yeah. And regardless of where our friends and family fall in any of those categories, we are thankful for each of them. We love each of them deeply. We are thankful for their input and concern for our family, for both our lives and our kids' lives. And we're just excited to see where the Lord takes us. Everybody has their own journey, and sometimes those journeys are unconventional, they're a little strange, they're a little off the wall, but at the end of the day, we have to live for an audience of one, and we have to go where God calls us to go. And I think about those that have gone before us, who have given up the comforts in their lives to serve the Lord overseas in unknown places, who have gone to uncharted territories and who have sacrificed so much and lived in poverty in order to be a blessing to others and to point people to Jesus Christ. And we are not necessarily missionaries right now, but we are definitely looking for where God is leading and what the next steps are. And so He has opened doors for us to be here in this time and place, and we want to be obedient to that. And we're thankful for all the ways that we've seen Him provide and open doors and close doors, and we're just thankful to see Him at work in our lives.
Amen. All right, kids, except for Sarah, we have some exciting news to share with you.
I'm scared.
As you know, we have 2 weeks left in this house.
I thought we had one.
No, 2 weeks left.
2 from today.
And then we are moving into our RV adventure. And today, Daddy purchased the RV.
Seriously?
Let Let me try that again. Today, Daddy purchased the RV. I've been working for months on this. Months to find the RV.
Good job.
We made $75,000. Wait, no, how much did we make?
No,
It was less than that.
it was crazy. But everyone had cabin fever and did not care that it was rainy and snowy and cold and windy, and they were out and they were ready to spend money.
They are all on the program of Less Journey, More Junk. Less Journey, More Junk. That should be a YouTube channel.